past week, Mississippi State got destroyed. Somebody just got crushed the other night. Another SEC team looked awful in a game just the other night and won the bowl game. So the SEC's down, and Notre Dame, a well-coached team that plays BCS teams every single weekend. They're, 11-0? They 12-0 right now?
Yeah,
I like the Irish.
Yep. Might turn our attention a little bit to NBA, knock over a few games as
before you get real quick, do you have a line on the 49er-Packer game for next weekend and the Patriot-Texans game yet? Those are the divisional games for next weekend.
I think the Houston are plus 9.5 at the moment, traveling to New England.
Wow.
And the Packers, it's oscillating between 3 and 3.5. The Packers.
The Packers are getting 3 points, 3 or 3.5 points.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 games to look at NBA-wise. Oklahoma City $1.32, Toronto $3.40, and I think your line's 6.5.
Yeah, that's correct.
Where are they playing? Where's the game being played?
Toronto.
Ooh.
And they're 3.40 underdogs.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, the NBA's tough. It's tougher for me to bet the NBA. The guys who know it do it very well, but it's very difficult.
Absolutely. That 82 games a season makes it hard to get your form right. Really, I'd rather bet on the weekly sports.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think though that one of the things that I hear, one of the best, most solid bets that you can make if you like to bet, is that several teams. If you take a team, bet against a team that's on the last game of a long road trip.
Yeah,
because the NBA season, like you just said, 82 games. It's long. It's arduous. These guys. There's really, in my opinion, there are 3 trimesters to an NBA season. Mm-hmm. There's 2 Christmas or 2, say, New Year's, where the guys are just out going through the motions. They start to crank it up a little bit, and then come March, the final trimester before the playoffs, you start seeing teams play defense and that type of stuff. But typically, a team that, especially a team that looks good, like a heavily favored team, oftentimes at the end of like a good team, at the end of a road trip, they're tired. They're probably overlooking a bad team. There's value in getting the underdogs in those games.
Miami, they're $1.04. Washington, $11. I think that's about right, is it?
Yeah, leave me out of that one. 14 points. The Heat are giving Washington there, so.
Hey, do you have any? I was going to ask one of these fun questions. Do you have any more NBA that you want to?
No, that's it. That'll do.
I was going to say, James, do you have any fun bets available to people for tomorrow's games? Like, first team to score, first, how do you do for the Super Bowl?
The player specials that we offer are always the most popular. We've got a unique one, obviously, a little tribute to Ray Lewis, one of the most intimidating men you'll ever see.
Yeah, that's no joke.
We've got a will he make a sack tomorrow? It's a little bit difficult for us to sort of frame that market because you're not sure how healthy he is, but we're offering odds of $4 if he can make a sack tomorrow.
$4 if Ray Lewis makes a sack. How many sacks did he have this year? Do you have that in front of you?
Yeah, he's only got the one, but historically over his career he's averaged over 2 a game. So
in playoff games,
yeah.
See, that tells you right there that guy goes to play, and so that's not bad. So you lay $10, you win 40. If he gets a sack.
Exactly.
I like it.
And the quarterback specials are very popular as well. We just laid some bets on Joe Flacco to throw more than 255.5 tomorrow. And Andrew Luck's got the same line, RG3, 215, and Russell Wilson, 220.5.
Yeah, I like that. I think that first game in the morning, you could see fireworks. I mean, that could be, I said 24-21. It could be 34-31. The one thing about the Ravens this year is that their staple since 2000 when they won the Super Bowl, they always have very good defense. But you take a look at them now; they score points, but they give up a lot of points. And it's age. So Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, these guys they're older now. So there could be a lot of points scored in that. That's actually not a bad bet to go.
Andrew Luck could have a nice big game, I think, at the over 255 and the 350 that we spoke about earlier, or the +7.
Hey, do you guys have an over-under on that game for just total points scored?
Yeah, we do. Let's have a look. 46.5 is and 46 in the other game. So
not bad.
There's been some money at the overs as well in the Washington-Seattle game. So people are expecting some points for the rookie quarterbacks, which is interesting.
Yeah, well, they're 2 very good. The Redskins' defense has been a big part of them coming together. The way they have, they've won 7 straight, and Seattle's defense is top 3 in the whole league. So That's interesting that people think there's going to be a lot of that the rookie quarterbacks are going to throw for a lot of yards. Both teams have good running games too, though, which can obviously keep a defense off balance.
Yeah.
James, thank you very much for your time from Betstar, of course, betstar.com.au, and hopefully we can speak to you again soon.
No, Stan, have a good night.
James McLaughlin joining us there. Now, a few SMSs before we take a break. Brett from St Albans says, and it's a good SMS, it's great to have you back, Steve-O. Did you hear about the American Eric Wallace being recruited as an international rookie by North Melbourne?
I did not. So is that part of the...
It's a big, big boy. He came across as part of the... I think he was
is he a basketball
scholarship
player
program. He is, yeah. And he was able to train with North Melbourne Impress and get a rookie-listed spot. So
no kidding.
Similar to, I guess, what Shea McNamara did at
I remember that. That's right. Yeah. So do they do that every... Isn't that something that Sheedy started?
Yeah, in a way. Like, he was one who sort of went across and was scouting out a lot of the overseas sports and these sorts of things. But we've seen probably quite a bit of that over the last few years. I think Essendon tried it in the... I can't remember the guy's name, but it was in the late 90s, early 2000s. Someone will know the answer to that. And the top SMS, their first to 10 points for Toronto is the best bet you can make, suggesting there off the SMS.
Really?
And please ask Steve, how does Romo keep his job? Anthony from Fitzroy.
Oh, Anthony, you know what I felt? It's funny. You know how there's certain athletes that you just, when you watch, you just feel for them. You want the guy to win. Yeah. I don't like the Cowboys at all. But Tony Romo is just, in my opinion, one of the most likable people out there. I mean, he was undrafted. He came from, where the hell is he from? Wisconsin or someplace. He grew up a Packer fan. He went to Northern Illinois. He wasn't drafted. And he goes to the Cowboys, who've had two of the best of all time, Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman. So he's going to be compared to them. Everything he does, every step he makes, he's compared to those two guys. He's so talented, but he just throws the bad pick. And so to answer your question, there's no one out there better than him. That's why he keeps his job, quite honestly. But I felt so bad for that guy. I really did. I had a buddy over. We were having filet mignon, and we're drinking wine, and we're watching that. And I feel sick for Tony Romo because you want the guy to do well, and he just doesn't.
And you know what you got to respect about him too, Steve, because there would be a lot of athletes, not only here in Australia, but all across the world, wouldn't have shown. Wouldn't have in front of the media, wouldn't have shown at a press conference after what had just happened to him, knowing that not only are the whole Cowboy fraternity and fans I'm talking about hang on, what's going on here? The whole of the USA who would have watched it live and said, oh, geez, Tony Romo's just cost his team a playoff spot. The whole of the world who follow it are going, what's Tony Romo doing? Rather than just hide and go on holiday and vacation and try and get over
like
it.
Rex?
Yeah, like Rex.
Get a tattoo.
Like Rex.
Get a tattoo of somebody.
He fronts the media, fronts the press conference and takes it. And that's why Tony Romo, even though he hasn't always delivered, is very well liked because he always fronts up to any mistakes and he takes the good. When he gets the good, he'll take it, but when he has the bad, he also fronts up and admits to his issues.
He's a stand-up guy. He's a hell of a golfer. He does well with the women. And the other thing is that he...
Someone's actually SMS'd in Mark Sanchez's honour roll too, which is not bad at all.
Give it to me.
Kim Kardashian.
See, now, physically, I will give you Kardashian. Kim she's flawless, physically flawless. I don't think, like I actually have a chance with her. Yeah. I don't think that I could. But I mean, you look at me. I mean, I'm not a bad-looking guy. I got some decent game, right?
Yeah, he's got us covered, I think.
Heavily, a lovely wife though. But you know that's impressive. You know, but I mean, she's a very. That's the thing is that I think after 5, 6, 8, 10 different NFL players and NBA players have spent time with her, in quotations, you'd probably want to stay away.
Eva Longoria?
See, I don't like... She's a bit thin for my taste. I think Ed White would be a big fan of hers, Eva Longoria.
And Kate Upton.
Oh, God, are you kidding me?
Apparently.
So back home in the loo, there's a I don't know what magazine, Maxim or something like that. Yeah. It's in the loo. And, you know, I like to multitask if there's something interesting to read. I've never read the article, but I've looked at the pages probably a dozen times. She's just another physically flawless gal. I don't know really what you would talk with Kate Upton about, though.
I don't think Sanchez is really interested in talking. Though.
No, I don't think
he's hanging around long enough. Good on him.
How about that?
Dwayne Armstrong is the name of that player from America that Essendon recruited.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. And Greg from West Meadows says, useless stat, Joe Flacco is the first NFL quarterback since my all-time favourite Otto Graham to get to the playoffs in each of his first 5 seasons. And Shane says Dallas has not won a playoff game since '96. Romo was a dud.
Oh, come on, Shane.
Yeah, all right. Hey,
Shane's just a little cocky because his Seahawks are playing well.
hey, just on Eric Wallace, and
Yeah.
great job, international rookie now, and he's at North Melbourne, and good luck to him. Shea McNamara, who did the same thing at Collingwood.
I remember that.
He's
He's-
back home, isn't he?
No, he's actually signed basketball,
Oh, of course he
Sandringham
did.
Sabres
Yeah,
in the
of course he
SEABL, the
did.
SEABL League, which is the league below the NBL. He signed the play for Sandringham for season 2013. So
He's just having a hell of it. He comes over here to play a bit of. I think we interviewed him a few years
Yeah,
ago.
he did.
We had a
Yeah.
bit of, has a bit of fun playing. He's like, I'll try this AFL
Yeah.
thing, and then he realized it's like, God, that's a hell of a lot tougher than I thought it was. And then he's like landed himself a gig. He's like, I don't want to go back home.
yeah, he'll be a citizen soon of Australia.
Fell in love
And,
with the Magpies too. Did Shea? Certainly
that's,
still got a soft spot
yep.
for him. So that's a
How do
character
you, how does,
flaw. But,
yes,
yeah.
I was just going to say, how does one do that? What does this say? This guy wants to know, Anonymous wants to know.
Oh yes.
Who wins the BCS championship game? We gave you that. I like Notre
Yep.
Dame, and Jesse Williams is a very good defensive lineman
He is.
for Alabama.
And
he
Brad
will.
Wing as
Brad
well.
Wing's the punter. Do you know Brad Wing was actually? He's got that. Wing's recent alleged drug test.
Yeah.
Fail. Thanks, mate. Michael from Berwick. No problem, Michael. That's actually not Berwick. It's Berwick, right?
Berwick, correct.
Yeah. You know,
Yep.
I've been gone for a while, but we
Yeah.
used to for fun. What we would do is. A thing would pop up and it would be like Nunawading, and I go Nunu Wading. We'd screw with people like that. I actually don't see now. Punters do get in, but punters aren't drafted.
No.
One's going to draft a punter. A punter, if he can stay off the what's his issue? Does he like to burn blunts, Brad Wing, or what is it?
allegedly.
Yeah.
So he smoked a bit of dope.
Allegedly.
He's a college kid, for Christ's sake. It happens. Get over it.
We do have to get a quick breakaway. A bit of NBA, some of the issues of the week, studs and duds as well, before we bid farewell on Betstars and Stripes. Offer the best of the best on all Saturday and selected public holiday Metro meets. Half an hour prior to the jump, select it for best of the totes or top fluck, whichever is higher.
This is Betstars and Stripes.
Welcome back at 7 minutes to 9 o'clock. Darren Park and Cameron, Luke and Steve Salisbury here talking all things US sport. The Melbourne Stars are none for one off 3 deliveries inside the first over. Alex Doolan, the very talented batsman from Tasmania, is opening with Aaron Finch. And for the Melbourne Stars, it is John Hastings with ball in hand in the first over as Doolan whips one away for one to deep square leg. But we touched on it very briefly at the start of the program, but 7 coaches fired on Black Monday. We'll start off with Andy Reid from Philadelphia, Steve.
See, Andy Reid was coach for 14 years. That's a long, long time when it comes to the NFL. Coaches are hired and fired in really a year and a half, 2 years.
Yep.
Years. So he stuck for 14 years, had a lot more success early in his tenure than he did late. Now, a couple things about Andy Reid. He had worn out his favor in Philadelphia just a couple years ago. Last year, they brought in those free agents. They were supposed to have a Super Bowl team, and they flopped. This year, they were bad. You can chart a guy's progress and whether he's had success or not largely to whether or not he's had a quarterback. First, for most of his career, he had Donovan McNabb. Since Donovan's left, the team has not been as good. Michael Vick is too fragile and doesn't work out. The sad thing about Andy Reid is that this guy has had one of the worst years that a person could have. His son died of a drug overdose.
Yeah.
So his personal life is not good. He's had both his sons have been involved in drugs. One of them has obviously died. They're only in their 20s. And, is it an issue of dad not being around enough? I mean, he's a Mormon guy. Typically, Mormons don't have these kind of issues. Is it a function of him working or overworking? I don't know. But to Cam's point, Cam made a point just a second ago before we got on air that he's already been hired in Kansas City. So,
Tell you what, though, he looks unwell. He doesn't look well.
Is it his size? Is it the mustache? He does not look good.
No, he looks like he could benefit from a year off.
That's what a lot of people thought, but he was off for about 2 days and he started negotiating. Lovie Smith missed the playoffs. He was a good coach. Didn't beat Green Bay, which is what you're supposed to do. He lost his job with the Bears. He had 2 NFC championships and 1 Super Bowl though. So, he lost his job. Norv Turner. Okay, Norv Turner, very good offensive coordinator, crappy